This Thursday, we look at Genesis chapter 4. As we looked at the previous chapter, remember that was where Adam and Eve fell into sin and was driven out of the garden. But yet God gave the promise of his grace through a son that would be born. Let's continue with Genesis chapter 4. We're starting with the first verse. Now Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have gotten a man with the help of the Lord. And again, she bore his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a worker of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground. And Abel also brought of the first fruit of the flock and of their fat portion. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his face fell. Then the Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry, and why has your face fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it. So the question is, was God to blame for Cain rebelling, for Cain being angry? Why didn't God just simply accept Cain's offering? Was it because the grain wasn't as good as the animal? No, not at all. The reason that God rejected Cain's offering, we see, is that he didn't believe. His heart was not right. God, throughout the Old Testament, when he talks about worship, says, that he desires mercy, not judgment. In other words, he desires that attitude of love for our neighbor and not simply going through the motions of the sacrifice. Well, the sacrifice, while the offering was there to the Lord, it was given not for the reasons that it should have been given. Maybe it was for selfish reasons. Maybe it was to make himself look better in the eyes of his parents. Whatever it was, God rejected it because of his attitude. Verse 7, if you do well, will you not be accepted? Not will you and your offering not be accepted? Be accepted then? Sin is, if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you. You see, that's what sin is. Sin is contrary to what God desires for us. But you must rule over it. And that's the struggle, isn't it? Ruling over sin. So often it is that sin that rules over us. Let's continue with verse 8. Cain spoke to Abel his brother, and when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, Where is your Abel, your brother? He said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? And the Lord said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it shall no longer yield to you its strength. You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me today away from the ground, and from your face I shall be hidden. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. Then the Lord said to him, Not so. If anyone kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord put a mark on Cain, lest any who found him should attack him. A couple things here. First of all, yes, we are our brother's keeper. We are called to help our brother in need, to watch out for them, to help them in the midst of their struggles, in the midst of their difficulties. Yes, we are our brothers and our sisters' helper. Second of all, isn't it amazing God's grace? even though Cain did this evil thing and God punished him, yet God put that mark on him so that others would see that mark and not kill him. In a way, God showed his grace even to Cain. Which brings up this point. There is no sin which God's grace will not cover. Confess to him. Ask him for forgiveness. Our God is gracious and merciful. He's slow to anger. He's abounding in steadfast love. And he forgives our sins. Tomorrow we'll be back and we'll be focusing on chapter 5, which is really the generations from Adam to Noah. But yet, as we look at these, there's some important points that we can make from here as well. Hope you join me. We'll see you again on Friday. God bless.